Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I want to show you how to prune your peach trees. It's not the time to do a hard prune, and that means taking a lot off of your peach trees that could stunt their production of the peaches. But in my experience, which isn't professional at all, just a hobby gardener, I've done pruning in the middle of summer and still had good production of peaches. So in this video, I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing you want to do is take everything off that is 30 inches below. So get your little tape measure and mark out 30 inches. And as you can see, I went and very savagely went through and cut off everything. I have a couple of new growth coming that I'm going to chip away, and then that one I would keep for now. It's not really causing any problems. And I have not been allowed to use the big saws anymore since Once you have everything taken off 30 inches below, you want to start working your way from the inside out. Now, I've always been told you want a nice area for birds to build a nest, and the saying is if they can't fly through, the sun can't get through. So as you can see, the opening in the middle of my peach trees is very big. And then you want to start with any branches that are growing in towards the center. You want to get rid of those. That way everything's nice and open. You get nice sunshine, nice wind going through, and that will help keep away any diseases and also help the birds get any pests. In South Carolina, the Japanese beetle is pretty bad, so if you have quite a few birds coming through, they'll help keep those down. Another thing is you don't want any branches crossing. I'll try to do this without breaking my neck. I'm gonna step on something. So you can see, let's see, right here, this branch is coming out and crossing here. It's also kind of very flimsy, so once peaches get on that, it's going to bend and probably break. So you can either take, if you want to keep it, or keep a branch, not this one, but one like it, like this one. I would just take the flowers off and give it a chance to get bigger and thicker. So you would take away this one. I would also get anyone that crosses. You don't want any branches that are growing down or really horizontal. You want them growing up. Like these guys here, they're growing up to the sky. All of those are good. Because if they start to grow down, they're just going to get heavy with fruit and stay down and eventually break. And if you have any broken branches, that could lead to disease and pest, which is not good for your trees. So this branch right here, that one, is a good example of you don't want it growing into the center of your peach trees, and you want to cut that out at a 45-degree angle. Mine I can't reach because I'm short and I have to have my husband cut it out, and I'm going to leave it for now, and come the winter next year I'll have him cut that one out. It's quite big, so I don't want that big of a hole in my tree, because then disease and pests could get into it, and that's just, I don't want that. Look how pretty this peach tree is. It's just covered in blooms, and we don't have a frost for like a week, so hopefully these get some love and I'll get a ton of peach trees. I just realized I said peach trees. I meant peaches. I haven't had coffee yet. Now, another thing I want to discuss is mulching your trees. Now, you don't want what us gardeners call the volcano. You don't want the mulch moved all the way up to the trunk. You don't want it touching the trunk. You want to kind of create a bowl around it So that way the mulch is protecting the roots but not touching the tree, because as the mulch decomposes, it'll start attaching to the tree and actually try to decompose the tree as well. Now I put some mushroom compost down there, and I've got to work it away from there. I didn't have time yesterday because it was getting dark and it was raining really badly. And this one has the same thing. Let me show you my apple trees. It's a better... Alright, so this is my apple tree, and as you can see, there's not a whole lot of mulch touching it. And let's see if I can get in there. And so the tree is good. That's the weed barrier I put down, but it's not touching it either. And so that's kind of what you want. You don't want it touching the tree, just surrounding the tree. This is my apple tree. They are slow growers. Although if anyone has any advice on growing the apple trees bigger and better, I would love advice on that. But this, I also trim these the same way. And so as you can see, that branch right there, I tried to cut it off, but that was after I stabbed myself. So I'm kind of apprehensive about trimming my trees now. I kind of leave it to my husband. Alright, so quick recap on pruning your peach trees. You don't want anything growing below 30 inches. You don't want any branches crossing, nothing in the center, and you don't want any branches that are growing down or are very thin with a ton of blooms on them. If you want to keep them, I suggest taking the blooms off so they don't have a chance of getting big peaches on them and then breaking that branch. I've also been told that you want to top your peach trees at around 5 or 6 feet. I'm not doing that because I'm using them as privacy for our neighbors behind us, as well as the neighbors across from us. So no one likes to watch me do garden stuff, except you guys. It is better to prune in the fall and winter time. That way all the growth is down at the roots and the tree's not worried about getting broken and cut the branches away, because it's focused on growing its roots to have a healthier production for next year. You can prune them in the springtime, but I wouldn't suggest doing a huge hard prune, taking everything off, because that could impact how much fruit you get or flowers you get depending on the type of tree. So I hope you guys found this helpful, and thanks for watching.